They heard that I was on.
It's Friday Night Live with your host, your brother Methos, and the Freak, and recently escaped from the basement, Hoodies. And now for the car wreck of the show, welcome to the Cross and Fizz.
What is going on, guys? We are live.
Hello.
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Methos.
I am Freak.
I am Oni.
I am grumpy.
It's so good to see you guys.
What's happening, fellas?
Welcome to our Friday night, guys. And it's an awesome honor to be hanging out with Grumpy Guy Gaming once again.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Tiny Me, Methos. Hey, guys.
Yeah,
I need a child seat.
Yeah.
Hey,
I didn't
do
do this.
Why do I have the biggest head here?
I'm not
I
saying
guess for
anything.
me-
You'll just kill more Imperial Fists. That's all. So, you know what? Whatever you say, man.
You know, some of the ladies like that, Grumpy. You know. I
don't
wouldn't know because I'm small and Asian.
We don't go there.
But allegedly. Allegedly. Oh, man. It's good to see you guys. We got Oni doing some hobbying tonight. Freak's got, Freak got some very good news today. So no doubt, Freak and Oni both got some really good news. So no doubt sometime during the show, I'm going to get tased. Dorn's going to show up at my door.
Kick him in the balls.
Yep. I don't know. You know how it goes, guys. When one of us is having really good luck, somebody else in the group's got to have really bad luck. And since two people are having really good luck, I'm in trouble, guys.
You're.
Yeah, I'm screwed. I'm absolutely screwed.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
It looks like a diner scene where Grumpy looks like he's the dad with three sons.
Yes. Daddy.
Grumpy's going to be like, do I need to take you outside? No, sir. No, sir.
Hey, Tori. I love this setup, man.
Yeah, I don't know what gave me the inspiration for this. This is pretty cool.
I love it. It's just like, you know what? It's just like a bunch of misfits. I love it.
Although, because I have my camera up and kind of far away,
Yeah,
I definitely
this makes you look
I definitely look
smaller.
tinier than everybody
Yeah.
else. Because this is the angle I normally have when I'm
Right.
doing my painting hour streams,
All right.
and so I can have it looking down at me while I've got the other camera looking at the models. You know,
Yes.
Running Bear, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well and healing well. So we are going to do what we always do. It's start with a little hobby update, guys. Guys, if you're in the chat, drop it down in the comments and let us know what you're working on, because we always love seeing what you guys are working on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with the biggest list. Apparently, Grumpy's been working on more than in the last 2 weeks than I've done all year. Maybe the three of us combined. So we're going to start with the big list. Grumpy, what you been working on lately? What you got for a poke chop?
Where to start? I have 8mm amateurs that I'm working right now.
That looks so cool.
What else do I
I'm gonna
have?
make some. I gotta make some.
I have Necromunda squats. I have Raven Guard on my desk. I have Word Bearer complete 30k on my desk. World Eaters unassembled on my desk. 3 armies for Epic. I finished just a Titanicus yesterday. Gandalf, I have a commission. I have for my Patreon some Gal Warbuck I managed to get for him.
Ooh.
Damn.
He's been following me from the beginning, so Methos got something, so now it's time for him.
That's awesome. I love my Grumpy collection here.
What else? I think I have. Oh, I have a continuing Imperial Fist army. You remember the one that I painted a few months back?
Mm-hmm.
Now I have 2 Krytos for them, Spartan, 20 Templars,
Damn.
15,
Nice.
My gosh.
15 Warders, Dorn, Sigismund, Fafnir, Suicide.
Tease him. Weren't you doing those for commission?
Yeah, it's for Adam that I play with.
Okay.
I wanted to do it earlier, but he wanted me to finish a lot of Necromunda stuff for
Makes
him.
sense.
So
Okay.
so he can play with his son.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I have some crap. Oh, I have Sisters of Battle I need to finish.
Ooh. Hey, you've been busy, man. Great.
Very.
And I have inquiries for another 5 or 6 commissions.
Man,
But
yeah,
these are complete armies, so the Titanicus I finished recently, that's the first batch of maybe 3 or 4 batches.
you and Elston, I have no idea how you guys churn out.
Oh, I
full
do.
armies so
This man
quickly.
hasn't slept in 2 days, man. He done told me
Yeah.
right before we started, like, I ain't sleep in 2 days. Like, no wonder you're doing so much. Oh.
Oh man. And you got up super early in the morning to be on with us when you could have been sleeping.
I didn't get up. I haven't went to sleep.
Oh man.
Gosh,
That's-
man.
Well, thank you for spending some time with
Yes,
us.
thank you. I really appreciate that.
I almost wish out of friendship that you would take the opportunity to get some rest.
Yeah.
No, I'm not tired.
Well, you watch our show enough, man. You'll get sleepy and fall asleep. You'll be all right, man. Just watch our show plenty, and you'll be like,
I'll go to sleep in the next 13 hours maybe, because I have to go to work after this show.
I feel like
God.
we need that clip from Rocky IV where Dolph Lundgren says, "He is not the man, he is a machine."
Adrian!
Yes. Oh man, we've got Running Bear working on some Voton.
Nice.
We've got Lupus Canis converting a Rogue Trader era 40k Wolf Army into a 30k Wolf Legion. That's awesome.
Nice.
For the Allfather, for us, says Lupus Canis.
Now I know what I will get for him. He's been avoiding my questions. What does he want for me to give him? Now you're mine.
Atlas, what is up, my brother?
Oh man, Atlas, you are a legend, my man.
Yeah.
Oh man. As always, Atlas is our eternal DM, And last night we had an amazing session of D&D. So I just want to thank Atlas, seeing him there in the chat.
How'd it go?
Man. It was so good. I'll give you guys the full recap when we get to my turn.
Woot.
I am going to move on to Brother Oni now, working hard along at his workstation there. What you got for a poke chop this week, brother?
Nothing.
Right on. What you working on tonight?
Some Kingdom Death models.
Nice.
That's the only hobby I have.
Mm.
Kingdom Death, you definitely went full ham into Kingdom Death. That is actually kind of a bit of a hobby update for you.
Actually, you know what? Kind of do have a hobby update. I already told you guys about it, but I'm quitting 40K. Just the casual aspect of it. I'll still do the whole like competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like casual play and all that, I'm calling it donezo right there.
Why?
Huh?
Why? If it's not a problem.
Don't really want to talk about it on the stream. But yeah, so I'm gonna be putting up most of the models that I have for sale, except for my custodians, because I'm gonna need those for 30K.
Mm.
I'm gonna need them for 30K because they double up for both game systems.
Are you selling off the Voton too? Because they seem like they'd go for the competitive thing you wanted to do.
I'm gonna hold on to them for a bit. Since, I just got them,
Right.
and I'm gonna lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
After all the money that I just spent for them, yeah, I'm gonna hold.
That makes
I'm
sense.
gonna hold on to them. Plus, I like the models, so I'm probably just gonna keep them just for display purposes.
They are cool looking. For
Yeah.
sure. That red and black you've got on them is very striking.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so that, and I started, actually, you know what? I started playing RimWorld again.
Nice.
That game came out, I think 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For some reason, I just saw it in my Steam library. I was like, you know what? Let me re-download it and play it again. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been doing.
I was going to mention one hobby update you've got is you played your first round of that Kingdom Death expansion. You want to talk about that a little bit? Apparently, you had a really good game.
Kingdom Death expansion.
Yeah, you said you were playing one. Everybody survived, right?
No, that
Was
was
it?
just a regular game.
Oh, regular game.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
the Kingdom Death expansion the pictures that I sent you guys, that's not gonna come out until next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a Kickstarter or just a standard?
No, it's the pre-orders for it already ended. But it's gonna be like its own.
Own game.
Yeah, you don't need the base game for it because it comes with from what I saw, it came with 30 survivors.
Oh, wow. That's
30 survivors, and it comes with I think it was 6 or 7 bosses,
Nice.
and then there's a new game type. It's called an encounter, and it comes with four. It's like they're like giants, and there's 4 of them.
Mm.
That encounter, you can run into them during the hunt phase, and after you're done with that, you go into your boss fight. So it's not like its own little thing. So you could trigger that while you're in the hunt, while you're hunting for the monster.
Mm-hmm.
And like if somebody dies in that encounter, that's it, they're dead.
Right.
It carries over into the actual boss fight.
Oh.
Like any injuries or any wounds that you have in there, it carries over. So
Man, I know some of those fights that The one I've done, but also the couple you guys have told me about playing. You know, sometimes we just get by the skin of our teeth. Can't imagine doing an ambush on top of that.
Yeah, and sometimes one of them falls in love with a boulder.
Oops. Not my fault.
It's like, oh man, we lived by the skin of our
rolled
teeth.
on the table.
Damn it! Shut up.
And how much was the base game, not the expansion, on pre-order?
400.
400.
Oh yeah, I remember. That's what you said. You put down when it first came out.
Yeah, that was the Black Friday pricing.
Wow.
I was like, sounds like a good deal. I'm down.
Oh, we're at it again, huh? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, that's kind of early.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
We've got the sexy times already.
Yeah. Find your
Speaking of-
love.
Speaking of sexy times already, we're already up to 10 likes. Thank you guys so much for smashing that like button.
Freaking much.
And we've got X Gear Commander in the chat. Happy freaking Friday, brother.
Freaking Friday.
Superfly working on the Christmas tree tonight.
Oh,
yeah, we were gonna do that sometime during the week. It looks like it's gonna be a weekend project now because we didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing Christmas trees now?
Yeah, typically in our family, we usually do it the day after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving.
And
that's so.
A friend of mine from U.S. said "Merry Christmas." Sent me a message. I was like, "What the?"
Like, what is wrong with y'all? Yeah. Yeah.
23 days early, guy.
Yeah.
We ordinarily decorate Christmas trees on the day before Christmas.
That makes sense.
Gee, the Hypersapien says, "What's up?" What's up, brother? Let's see. We had Forge the Wild. Brother Atlas says, "Dude, I'm so hung up on you selling your Golden Boys." No, the Golden Boys are what he's keeping because he can use those in 30K.
Yeah.
Marine, my brother, good to see you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, bro.
Or happy freaking breeding program day. Oh man, who was it? I think it was Waylander. Sent me a clip from Mars Attacks last week, and it had the girl from Sex and the City.
Sarah Jessica.
Sarah Jessica Parker's head on a Chihuahua's body.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, oh, that looks like a product of the freak breeding program.
That was a failed attempt. I'm just saying.
Or was it?
Well, maybe.
Some people do like doggy style.
He's starting it. He's starting it. He's starting it.
Love you, baby.
He's starting it. You're hearing all this, Grumpy? He's starting it.
Oh man.
I have a story for that, but it's not for this.
It's a NSFW.
Yes.
Oh,
you will ban me if I start talking about it.
Oh, freakalicious! What you got for a poke job, brother?
Well, I don't have a whole lot on the bench. I think last week I definitely got to work with, and we did this online, so I think everybody got to see it, so that's pretty neat. I did start playing with, I started playing a game with Nina Chick, Grounded, or what's it called? Yeah, Grounded. Finally, I got it. It was actually on sale, and it's been a lot of fun. That's a hard game. That is not an easy game. But it's been pretty interesting.
Those spiders are assholes,
Dude, are you kidding me? Oh, the wolf spiders and man, and those little stupid mites and stuff. It's like, oh gosh, I'll tell you what. When that wolf spider comes, because we actually started. We had a building or a house or whatever built up a base, and the walls and everything. And that thing starts crawling around like, oh. I'm not arachnophobic, but oh man, when that thing started, just
they have the animation for the movement of those spiders down pat.
Yeah, dead on, man. Dead freaking
I wouldn't
on.
say beautifully, but they have it down pat.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. No, I did not like it at all. I mean, that gave me ugh. So, no, me don't like you.
Lady Dragon says, I came in at the wrong time.
Or did you?
Welcome to the chat, lovely Lady Dragon. It was good seeing you on the last couple of streams with Adrian. It's good to see you back on the show.
Aside from that, I mean, we just, like I said, I need to get back to doing a little more painting because I've got some commission work that I need to wrap up. So I'm hoping by next week. This week has been kind of crazy. Every week's been crazy for me, but this week especially because, I just been dealing with some crap at work, and I can't believe how fast things, kind of moved. Had a headhunter reach out to me and say, hey, I saw your resume and blah, blah, blah. Got a position open in Houston area. I'm like, all right, sure, let's bite. One thing happened to the next, and it's like, I'm freaking hired. They're paying me. It's literally a 32% increase on what I'm getting paid, plus bonus, plus a, amazing benefits. And then they've got the profit sharing and all that other crap. So it's like, geez, it's insane. Yeah. So I wasn't expecting it, but it was very nicely welcomed. So yeah.
Methos, if you got that, you're fucked.
I know. That's what I was trying to tell him. I said, dude, because Oni kind of had a little similar thing going on too. He got a nice little bumpy. And the first thing we did, Methos, don't move. Don't move. Whatever you do, don't go outside. Don't move. If you hear the door knock, if you hear it banging on the door, don't open it. Don't even look through the peephole, because that's Dorn. He's gonna want to kick the door in and kick you in the balls. Don't do it. Don't go outside. So yeah, but yeah, it's been interesting.
I'm gonna be walking on eggshells all weekend.
That's what Mita says. But I have to go outside and walk the dog.
yeah. He said, "Say goodbye."
So we sent him a whole bunch of memes. I sent him a couple of the Sarah McLachlan memes.
Yeah,
I will remember
you.
It's like, tell my wife I love her.
Tell my wife I love her. And so yeah, it's been an interesting week, guys. So thank you so much, Running Bear. Thank you so much, brother.
Talking about those big ass spiders.
Ooh.
She says, that's just a regular day here in Australia.
yeah.
Responding back to Oni, Atlas said, okay, dude, I must have misheard you. I was about to say, I thought you loved those dudes. Gamers with Coffee, good evening, Greg, my brother. Good to see you.
Brother Greg.
Running Bear said, here I thought people were maturing. Nope, we're all still 13 at heart. That's why I love you guys. That's why we love you too. Lady Dragon says, trying to be on more, it's a slow process. Hey, at whatever speed you're comfortable with,
Blow us more, baby. Just take your time.
You and I also got to play some Back for Blood with Lily this week. That has been awesome.
So you guys have been telling me about this game for months now, and I know you, especially you're like, man, I really want you to get this game. I really want you to get so we can all play. Because the thing is, we really enjoy doing the zombie apocalypse shooters like Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 mainly.
Especially Left 4 Dead, yeah, because we played 1 and we played 2. And then we played the remaster for 1 on Left 4 Dead 2. Because if you buy Left 4 Dead 2, it comes for free with the remaster of. If you buy 2, it comes with the remaster of 1.
Yeah, and the crazy thing was like, so I mean, we had such a good time, and he kept telling, man, it's kind of like a spinoff of Left 4 Dead. I'm like, okay, I love the game. It's definitely close to a AAA game as you can get. It's been pretty high up there in cost wise, so I kind of waited for a while. I really wasn't ready to pull the trigger, and then finally the price dropped, and I snagged it right away, man. And it wasn't even it wasn't a significant price drop, but enough to be able to pull on it. So, man, best decision ever. It takes a little while to get used to some of the things because it's got different mechanics and it's got a card system, yeah. Deck system that you use. But it was
a little intimidating at first because they don't explain it to you.
Right.
But really, if you've played other games with perks like Call of Duty or stuff like that, it's really just a perk system in a card form.
Right.
Like usually in games like this where they have a deck system, there's luck and randomness involved, and you're just picking a loadout of perks, which I think makes it a lot easier. It's only their explanation of the system really sucks.
Yeah, it does. But once we kind of figured sort of the mechanics, man, it's been a blast. It's an intense freaking game, and there's been some hairy moments. We're like, oh man, we're gonna wipe, but it's been a lot of fun.
Had a couple of team wipes, but not too many.
Yep.
Like just challenging enough to where team wipe is always possible.
yeah. But no, it's been a lot of fun. That game has, like I said, it definitely got me kind of interested. Brother James, Brother Meeks, he just informed me that Valheim has now got an update. I think it's called Mists, which is a new area that they've opened up, and so I'm going to update my server so I can go ahead and run that. That should be pretty fun. If you don't know what Valheim is, most of you in chat are aware, but I think most of you are. It's that Viking game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a Viking survival base building kind of game.
Yeah, and it's pretty damn cool. So I'll be probably doing that sometime this week. So who knows? I may even have more time next week when I drop the bomb on my company. It's like, hey, yeah, it's my 2 weeks notice, and I don't know. They might just say, you know what? Just go ahead and go. I'm like, later. We'll see what they do.
Running Bear's been playing EverQuest at 7 Days to Die Oblivion mode. Keegan says Aaron, I think that's presumably his son, has been playing Call of Duty Zombies.
Nice.
Freak, you should watch 8-Legged Freaks. It's a fun movie. It is a fun movie.
Why do you want to do that?
I'm a terrible arachnophobe, but I have this sick fascination with spider movies. I don't know why. And then I can't sleep. And then I don't know why I do this to myself. Let's see. I know most of our chat is here for models. Now, the green screen stuff kind of acts up, so I'm going to do my best to show some of this. Actually, I should just use the pictures that I sent you guys for Art of the Week, but I took an old Necromunda figure I had lying around, which for me, this really worked out well. Because for me, this Necromunda figure was kind of a free figure. Because I've slowly been buying Warhammer 40K or related dogs. So that way, when I get to building my Sisters of Battle army next year, I can replace all of the creepy babies with dogs. And anyway, so I bought this Necromunda figure a while back because he comes with a dog, but I don't play Necromunda. I just thought he was a cool looking guy. I'm like, I'll use him for something maybe. Boom, chuck him in the bits box. Never thought about him again. But then I started this Imperial Guard army and I was going through the codex, and it's not a must. You still have your classic HQ choices. Like, I mean, he's an elite, but the Commissar's still there. There is where the solo commander thing that was in the previous codex. There's the Acadian Castellan. There's some named HQs, but there's also a whole squad now called the Command Squad, where you can have one unit, one slot in your army, but be a collection of HU characters. You got to have enough to fill out the squad though. And I was like, oh well, I wanted a commander for the Command Squad, and I was like, you know what? He's supposed to be an outlaw from Necromunda, but I think if I paint him up in the right colors and do a little bit of conversion to some Imperial Guard equipment, he'd make a pretty cool officer. And I painted him up, or I did the converting last night, and I painted him up today. Yeah, that's not going to show up. I'll send some pictures in Art of the Week, but yeah, I think he's a pretty cool commander. Got him not only painted up today, but based and everything.
Wow. Yeah,
So I'm pretty stoked. And yeah, so I painted up the commander today.
The dogs of battle.
Yeah, the dogs of battle.
I Sabian G says you should replace all the sisters with dogs. The dogs of battle instead of the sisters.
That's awesome. If you hate spiders, there's a new train game for PC called Choo Choo Charlie. I love that because it doesn't explain where the spiders come in. It's like, you want to know, don't you? Hey, Heinrich, my brother. Good morrow. Good to see you, brother. It's a train that tries to kill you, but can come off the tracks with spider legs.
Oh wow, that's kind of strange.
Interesting.
Not cool.
I don't care who your daddy is on the battle. I don't care who your daddy is on the battlefield. I'm your daddy. And then again, I don't know why I'm holding this up to the camera. Oh wow, that's actually working a lot better than the officer did. But Atlas had gifted me this. He had made he used to play Imperial Guard back in 7th edition. He moved on to a couple of armies and kind of away from 40k for a little bit. But yeah, his first army was actually Imperial Guard, and now he's back to Imperial Guard. But when he did his first army, he was experimenting with green stuff and a bunch of stuff like that for conversions. And I have a couple of things he made for me and gifted me. And this is a clone trooper. And I was putting together my command squad, and I was like, you know what? Who I think could call down some ordnance on a target? I think a freaking clone trooper could call down some ordnance on a field target. So I think I'm going to run, at least for now, this clone trooper as my master of ordnance. So that's 2 members of my command squad. Brother Atlas did let me know that I have a gift coming that's going to include a banner for my Imperial Guard army. So my banner guy for the Imperial Guard is going to be for this coming week's battle, my Space Wolves banner guy, who I've only used, I think, in maybe 1 or 2 games ever. So at least he'll get some playtime there. He's still on an old 25mm base because he's an old metal model. So yeah, it's good. He'll get to see some battlefield time.
You
I
playing
still
this
need. I'm playing next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's going to come over on. What we tend to do is get together on Thursdays. Usually our D&D week every other week, and on our off week sometimes we get together to play some Warhammer. Activate Order 66. And I hope that doesn't happen when we're facing the Nurgle demons next week. Just my master of ordnance gets the Order 66, starts calling down artillery strikes on my own guys. Like, oh no!
Oh my god.
And then I dug out a couple of bits. Like I've got one of the Felinid heads, and I've got an Imperial Guard body that I found in my bits box here. So I'm probably going to be making up my Master Vox. Why is everyone at the bus station?
Looks like that, don't it?
So yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to be working on tonight is assembling / converting up my my Master Vox, and then I'll have my whole command squad ready to go. Geez, that was a long time ago, right? When I said he converted me up a bunch of stuff from his Imperial Guards and green stuff before, So to go with the clone trooper he gave me, he also did a Jedi. So, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And he actually made like the full flowing robes kind of in that windy pose, you know, almost a Marilyn Monroe pose. Yeah, he did that all out of green stuff.
It's just gassy.
God. And then he asked me what my favorite anime character was back then. And I said a character named Grave from Gungrave. And he looked up reference pics and stuff like that. And he did a damn good job making up the anime character, Grave from Gungrave. And what's
Nice.
cool is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico or Desperado with Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how he has the him and he keeps
His
a
brothers,
guitar
yeah.
case as his gun case, but one of the brothers, the guitar case was the machine gun.
Right.
It was like this big ass rocket launcher, and another one he had a
Yes.
bazooka in his. So Grave essentially carries this coffin on his back, and just like in Desperado, the coffin is a case for guns and a big ass gun by itself. So yeah, with just like green stuff and some metal chain and stuff like that, he actually sculpted the little coffin that goes on his back that he carries as the big ass set of guns. So that was cool. That was when he first got into the hobby. The man claims he can't paint and he doesn't have a lot of hobby chops, but man, the man's been converting since he was brand new to the hobby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna sculpt from green stuff. What? All three were good movies. I only remember the two. I don't remember the third one. So yeah, that was a little trip down memory lane. Otherwise, this week I have been working on my Sentinel #2. I've gone for plasma in this loadout. So yeah, I did a little bit of airbrushing last night while we were D&Ding. Got the plasma effect done. Did the silvers around the legs and stuff. Got the base of the model coated with my mud effect color, so it's ready for the swamp effect on top. Now I've just been going. I still have a few places where I need to detail the silver, like on studs and stuff around the model, and then start weathering the metal, doing the rust effects. And once I do the rust effects and the shitty heat bloom on the smokestacks,
Wow.
then this one will be getting close to ready to be done. So I would say this one's about 75% done now. I really like how the plasma cannon came out, and you can even see I did a little bit of the glow effect on the barrel of the plasma cannon there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Running Bear. I'll make sure to check that up on Art of the Week later on. So that's what I've and because that wasn't enough, I've been hobbying like a madman this week. Chipping away just a little each day. But I say a little. Some I've stayed up longer than others. I am about 90% done with the last 12 of my 15 heavy weapon squads.
Damn.
They're based and everything. I just need to do the black rim around the edges and the eye lenses and matte varnish. But yeah, I'm so close to being done. So that is 12 heavy weapons teams at 3 models per base. So that's going to be another 36 models. I may actually beat last year's record. Because I forgot about the heavy weapons teams. I was like, I counted up the regular infantry, which I finished up last weekend. Those 30 models, and I was like, oh man, I'm not going to make it to last year's record. But I had forgotten about the heavy weapons team, so getting done another 36 models. I'm thinking, that's going to push me over last year's record. Making the rest of us look bad, Methos. That's okay to keep me humble here. We've got Grumpy Guy to show us how much he can do in a similar amount of time.
Yep, pretty much.
To be honest, I don't know how much I done this year.
God.
He lost track around 5,000 somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Once
I
the sound
think-
barrier's been broken, he just forgets.
how much? Well, I think there's about 100 Marines minimum. A few Titans.
Ooh.
20 Titans.
That's awesome.
Golly, man.
Wow. We don't count it all. So.
The last thing is, well, last two things. One, my wife got, my wife and my brothers, because I got hooked on it last week during group Thanksgiving. They had the garage set up as a LAN for Overwatch, and now I'm back into Overwatch. I remember why I stopped playing now. I enjoy playing, but man, that game like brings something out of me.
Something primal, huh?
Huh?
Something primal, huh?
Or as Lily just said, it's called salt.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
I tried looking for the free version. I couldn't find it.
Oh, they're Overwatch 2 is completely free. There's no free version. It's just free.
Overwatch 2? It
Yeah.
didn't look free to me. It looked like I had to pay. On
I
Blizzard?
didn't even know.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
can just
even
go to-
know that there was the second part.
If you go to the Blizzard downloader, it's completely free to play.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
look it again. Must have.
Yeah, I just set up mine on the computer this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
And then like the last thing, the D&D session, crazy.
Call me names.
Okay, so two of our party members have one has
Clap.
a sister and one has a love interest in this town we've just arrived in. It's supposed to be the base of operations for a slave trading company. We get there and it looks like a completely normal, peaceful village. Smokestacks rising, people kind of coming and going in the streets, And everything looks normal. But it's all a shell. It's a shell. If you go by the windows of some of these houses, if they don't have the curtains drawn completely tight, you can see like just stacks and stacks of slave pens and kennels, just like lining the walls. Even the inn had no rooms for people to sleep. People had to sleep out in the common room because all of the rooms were just basically more slave pens and stuff like that.
That's where the free breeding program started.
We had to constantly make wisdom saves because they had siren music playing on these copper tube speakers going throughout the city, forcing everyone to be calm and lose the will to fight. It was pretty crazy. And then we get to the inn and we're like, oh yeah, we just came from that mountain over there. We were treasure hunting in the caves and we need a place to rest. We got lost kind of going back through the mountains on our way back home. And they're like, okay. And well, let's take you over to the inn and stuff like that. So we get to the inn and they're like, so we know that this is a slave town, but if you've got coin, we don't care. We're like, oh, okay, well, I have to do. And then my character started trying to use his high charisma. He's like, oh, well, to be completely honest with you, yeah, we know it's a slave town. I'm actually here because it's my name day and we're trying to celebrate. And since it's a slave town, I thought maybe there'd be some entertainment I could purchase. You know what I mean? And so we start trying to gather information to see if either the people we're looking for are here. And my character's a tiefling. I've got some demon blood in me. And the minstrel there happens to be a performer who recognized all of us. And so the jig was kind of up. But he didn't give us away to the townspeople. In fact, he even gave us some information because... Oh, I'd never watched El Mariachi. I only watched Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's good to know, though. but yeah, gave us some information. He's like, now, I'm playing both sides. I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you guys. I am playing both sides of the fence here. So if you guys win, you guys let me live. Maybe you'll remember the favors I did you and, help me a little bit in return in the future. And I'll feed you guys information where I can. And if the other one wins, well, I reported everything I was supposed to, We're like, okay. So he gave us some information saying the love interest, well, that princess is in another castle. But the sister, the dude and his sister are water genasi. She's being kept alive in a cage out on the edge of the beach, a couple 100 feet out in the water. And so we go down to the beach, we kill off the guards that were guarding her, and we rescued her once before, and because these are human slavers, none of them can breathe underwater. So, before he was just able to, once we killed off the guards, swim to the bottom of the ocean, break her out of her prison, get out. He's a rogue, so, locks are no problem for him. So that's what we did again. Well, he gets down there and way earlier, we're talking like 6, 7, 8 months ago, earlier in the campaign, we had come across a bell that made clones of us, little shadow clones. So his double, it's cool because that happened like 7, 8 months ago. It got tied back around to this episode because his clone was waiting for him at the prison, and his clone turned out to be the one who sold his sister back into slavery. So as far as the sister knows, she's watching her brother fight her brother. This rogue has a spell that has foiled the GM many times. It's called Tasha's Hideous Laughter. If they fail a wisdom check, they get the giggles and they can't stop laughing, and you get free attacks on them while they're laughing. So he pops the spell, his clone fails the wisdom check and is just literally dying laughing, and boom, he pops out his psychic shadow blades and just goes to town like Sword Art Online, chopping up his double. It's supposed to be a big ass boss fight. It was supposed to be nearly a party wipe. This guy's single-handedly taking out the boss because the boss can't swing back. He's just dying laughing. And of course, because he's laughing, he's overcome with laughter. His AC drops and all that stuff. And he's like soloing this boss. Now, have you guys ever played Elder Scrolls before?
Yeah.
Okay, in Elder Scrolls, there's a god of madness, Sheogorath. Okay, and he owns this place called the Mad Isles. It's a place where people are driven insane, right? And the god of madness lives there. Well, we had an incident about 4 months ago where he was trying to teleport. We had a ring of teleportation that if you rolled a 1, you got sent to the Isle of Madness. And he was trying to teleport back to the home village to warn them all that an attack was coming. And oops, he accidentally ended up at the Mad Isles. It was a whole episode by itself. And in that, he got this the staff of the Chaos God, Sheogorath, called the Wabbajack. The GM's been saying for months, like, oh man, I can't believe you haven't used that gift from a god yet. Are you afraid of the Mad God's power? And it's like, to be honest with you, I just keep forgetting to use it. Oh, he used it once. So he was soloing this boss by himself, right? And the reason he's able to do this boss fight is because Water Genasi can breathe underwater. He gets to the 3rd round of just being able to get unlimited free attacks on this boss. And he's like, for my bonus action, I'm going to hit him with the staff. The Staff of Madness? The Staff of Madness. He's like, okay, don't roll a 1. He rolled a 1 again. He's like, well, you're going to lose your water breathing because you accidentally rolled Shapeshift with the Staff of Madness. Let's now roll again to see what you transform into. He rolled a 19. He transformed into a freaking T-Rex at the bottom of the ocean.
Damn.
So it was freaking Jurassic Park. So yeah, he had like a ridiculous strength, like 27 or something like that. It was ridiculous. But yeah, there's actually legit stats for a T-Rex in the book. It's crazy. He makes giblets out of his clone, right? The sister's freaking out. She saw two versions of her brother fighting each other. One of them turned them into literal chum. The chum, by the way, is attracting sharks because there's blood in the water now. And then the T-Rex chomps on the chain to the cage, freaking her out even more to set his sister free. So he chomps down on the cage, sets his sister free. He gets swarmed by 3 sharks. Craziness. Yeah, there's some other stuff happens. Our fighter went down to help, saw a T-Rex fighting 3 sharks, and thought to himself, I think I'm going to try and fight all of them. So he tried fighting. He helped kill the sharks. He tried fighting the T-Rex. Next thing you know, there's a Jaws-style chase scene, chasing him back to the shore. It was craziness. This is the most ridiculous episode I think we've had so far. So the GM Atlas there said he'd been working on that boss fight for weeks, but because of the spell, Hideous Laughter, giving him just free attacks on him, and who could predict that the Chaos Staff would roll a freaking T-Rex? He said, well, that whole boss fight, just crumple that plan up, throw it out the window. Oh, man. You can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up. The dice say what they want to. So it was a great episode. All right. It was a wild session. Loved every second of it. I think those are sometimes some of the best sessions where, just the way things unfold goes completely off the rails, but in a good way. It was a lot of fun. We've got some hobby news to talk about tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the Voton, a little bit about the Guard. We were on Messenger the other night, and Freak sent, we're going to have some Voton to talk about tonight. And I was like, what? I haven't seen any news. I looked at my phone, and then Osfix Tactics had just released a new video. And what was it about, Freak?
Well, apparently, it's going to be Line of Fire. Line of Fire beam weapons, ladies and gentlemen.
Beam weapons. So, previously,
on Lost.
The beam... previously on Lost. The League of Voton, their beam weapons, could hit anything in a line between you and your target, as long as it was the enemy's unit, and would not hit any of their own units going through it.
Yep.
And that was because the way it was worded in the codex, it hits all eligible units in its path. Well, under normal circumstances, you can't target your own people. And so eligible, most people took it to mean that it would just be your enemy's units, which seems like a reasonable assumption. But in the MetaWatch article, GW specified that, well, you're not actually targeting those people in the line. So under GW's understanding, that means that if your own units are in the line of fire for a beam weapon, they become eligible. So, interesting. Wow, that's what Keegan needs, Methos. Well, okay, they can be very strong, so that is something to keep in mind. If you end up facing them, is if you have like your dudes standing in front of each other, if your enemy can move to where they can get a line, a straight line on multiple units, yeah, they're probably going to get slapped a couple of times by beam weapons. And so, I had been warned right before the game started that I should probably keep that in mind during movement, because I could be giving away free hits. And I tried keeping it in mind, but at the same time, because of the way Astra Militarum units need to be within a certain range of each other for orders purposes, I was trying to get as many people orders as possible. And I think for the majority of the game, almost every unit ended up getting orders from my HQ officers. So I played that strategically correct, but by doing that, it's like half a dozen, 60 other, right? By doing that, having everybody close enough to take orders, everybody was also close enough that once, my opponent skillfully maneuvered around, maybe a little to the left, a little to the right, to get a better angle, they were able to hit multiple units with one blast. So, I mean, that like I said, there was a way to counter it, but I didn't play it that way because I thought the reward of getting orders from my Imperial officers outweighed the risks of getting beam weaponed. And I'm not going to lie, it was nice to be able to say, okay, hitting on 4s, rerolling everything's, going over to this unit, hitting on 4s, rerolling everything's. It was it felt good when I was doing the damage, but I also set myself up to take damage, so it's good to keep in mind.
So what happened? Said it's good, and then, oh look, it's a beam weapon. Goodbye.
Yeah, I was like, oh hey, I'm getting all these rerolls, and he goes, I'm gonna shoot him. Ouch. I have played it where the beam weapons hit my own units because it made sense, but I am playing mostly fun games. That makes sense. And even though I know some Votann players are upset by this, I personally, and of course I don't play Votann, so maybe it's just outside looking in. It doesn't seem like a huge deal, not because like I want them to be nerfed, I'm anti-Votann, but because when Freak and I started, we started in 7th edition, where it was kind of similar with flamer weapons in 7th edition. Right. And you had to, in your movement phase, you had to watch where you put what units in front of the flamer guy, because you couldn't have your own guy standing in front of your flamer, or else you'd have trouble, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
What I had when I was playing with orcs, what I had scratch tank, and I think it's 7th edition. You could scatter.
Oh yeah.
And each time I fired, it scattered back to my orcs.
Oh no.
Oh, I did that too. I think it was on the missile launchers. Freak and I used to do that. We'd launch a missile and we'd be like, where's it gonna go? Oh, back onto my own dudes.
Yep.
Yeah, but I always done it deliberately. So if it's 5 inches from my unit, I'm shooting there.
Makes sense.
Because you had that also, like this beam weapon rule. You had it in fantasy when you shot a cannon.
Oh yeah.
You had to guess the range. Then you threw first dice to see how much you overreached, and then the second dice is how much the cannonball will bounce.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So you could, let's say, have 2 inches to hit, or you could have 10 inches, a straight line.
I wish I had 10. Have a great night, Brother Atlas. Now, like I said, Freak and I played with Flamer templates, so we're already kind of used to that. But a lot of people playing Votann are actually there's kind of a mix. Some of the older hands that played squats when they were squats, not this new league stuff, but then some people who have been around, not only the people who've been around, but also some newer people from the last couple editions. We all know that 8th edition caused a great resurgence in players, and it's been kind of steadily building up, of course, with pandemic and stuff like that. So there's a lot of new players playing Votann as well. our brother our brother Oni here is one of them. Started after 8th edition started, and is also a new Voton player. So I'd like to get your thoughts on that, Oni, my man. What do you think about the fact of beam weapons being able to hit their own dudes?
Doesn't really affect me. Because whenever we played, I had my beam weapons out in front.
Yeah, you had them out in front, and I think you made a really good strategic choice of you usually placed your infantry units kind of in a fan shape, so that way you didn't really put yourself in the line of fire to drag through your own units. So, and I think that's kind of one of the things you just got to keep in mind with this kind of thing is, as long as you're mindful of where you put your units in the moving phase, you know, like he said, keep your beam dudes out front. You know, don't position yourself to where you can shoot yourself. You should be fine. It is kind of interesting that it was one of those things that, you know, is very, very soon FAQ kind of materialized right after them coming out. But other than that, you know, I think it's manageable. I did also see, however, on a couple of live streams where, you know, some people reacted differently, you know, whereas it could just be, you know, as simple as just making it something to consider in the movement phase. I have seen on a couple of live streams where there's been some Voton players where they said, oh, stuff like this is why I got rid of my Voton 3 days after they nerfed him. I was like, that's a little bit of an extreme.
Well, that's not extreme. When the fantasy dropped, people were burning their armies.
Oh yeah.
So
Really?
Yeah.
you have videos on YouTube, people actually burning complete collections of Warhammer.
Oh God. Okay, that is a little bit extreme.
I mean, my former gaming group. My former gaming group stopped playing the minute they said they were going to not support Warhammer Fantasy. So complete armies just think, oh, I don't want it, doesn't get support. But the funny thing, I have a client from US that is to this day playing last edition of Warhammer Fantasy.
A lot of people who play the old edition still like it better than Sigmar, like just system-wise.
It's a different system. It's a different game. So
yeah, one of the things I hear from people who say that is they really like the rank and file aspect of the game, because in that one, instead of like always moving your full 10-man squad freak, they had a tray full of minis, and you would just pull models off the tray.
Yeah.
So like they were always like squared up.
yeah, but you always have to, at least for me in tournaments, you have to really calculate how are you going to move, because sometimes when you charge, you move your unit, wheel it. You don't just turn it around. So you could clip your unit and you couldn't charge.
Oh yeah,
You had to maneuver. Also you had to declare a charge without measuring. So you had to know the distance approximately before charging.
eyeball it. It's that way still in bolt action, I believe, where you got to eyeball it. You can't measure, no pre-measuring.
Necromunda is still like that.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
I think in Necromunda you don't have pre-measure.
Man, wouldn't that drive you crazy if you just eyeballed it and called it wrong? Oh, I'm sure that's 5 inches. You roll it, and it's like, oh no, that was a 9-inch charge, man. What were you thinking? Oh, I got overwatched for no reason.
And you get used to it. At least I could have, when I used dwarves, when I played fantasy, I could put on a head of a player. It's just calculations. You have to, if he moves, you're 24 inches. If he moves, let's say 6, you just deduct a little bit, and if it's on an angle, you can't miss that much.
I could see like after a while, because I think um,
Also this approximately 6 inches, so you could always cheat. I had a player that always put like his fingers on the table to check.
that's funny. Smart though. Hey, if you can't use the ruler, but you can use your body, smart. I think one thing that Freaky and I have definitely gotten better at over the years that we've been playing is just eyeballing on the table, like distances for our weapons and stuff like that. We were like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you're within 24 inches. And then we'll pull out the ruler. We're like, oh yeah, you're within fire range. And so I think being that we've kind of trained ourselves to be able to do that with weapon distances, I could see where, if you just got used to not being able to pre-measure, having to do it in your head for charging and stuff like that, where it would just become part of the skill set.
Yeah, it was normal. Practically, I won a couple of. I won a tournament just by doing that.
That's awesome.
Although I was drunk during those tournaments. The best thing is, I was like the award ceremony, and they're saying, "Oh, first place, Sudan." I said, "What? Who?" I didn't even know what place I was. It was just.
Oh man, drama queens is what G was saying about people burning their armies. Gamers with Coffee said armies cost too much to burn it. I couldn't do it. I agree, my man. Even crazier, I think one of the more popular videos on someone burning their armies is one of the old school Tomb Kings, which is considered one of the rarer fantasy armies now. And yeah, so somebody actually burned like thousands of dollars of Tomb Kings.
That's crazy, man.
Throwing a hissy fit.
Hey guys, talk for a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta give him some coffee. I'm like literally falling asleep. Be right back.
I could see you dying. I have submitted. All hail the Grumpy Lord. Heck yeah. Oh, if anybody's curious about that thumbnail about saying you will submit to Grumpy Guy Gaming, that is submit your entries to his giveaway, you can win some awesome prizes. Grumpy, tell us a little bit about your giveaway.
You won't get nothing.
Now, is that, talking to the audience, or is that me specifically?
You. Now, there will be two. At the moment, there will be two awards. So first place and second place, I mean, everything is in the video. So first place will be out of production Dread Fleet box. So not assembled or anything. And the second place will be this one. Imperial Fist. But also to make it more interesting and to give you more guys, more stuff, more incentive to people to share and everything. For each 500 subscribers more that I get, I will add more stuff. For instance, for 1,500, I was thinking maybe paint the complete Dread Fleet as a commission for free. On 1,000 subscribers, Adeptus Titanicus Titan painted of the choice for that will be, let's say, the second place, and then the Marine will go to third place, and then if you go above that, maybe Battle Force or something like that.
That's awesome. The video definitely has all the details. If you guys want to check out that video, here is the link to that video. Please show him some hobby love. I'm sure everyone here is already subbed, but if you can give him a sub, give him a sub. And let's get this guy over the $1,000, and so we can get to his awesome giveaway. So there it is in the link. You can also, at all times, find Grumpy Guy Gaming down in our link tree below to the Friends of the Frost and Fists. Yeah, so you can always check him out there as well. Dreadfleet is an out of production game, and anything out of print is always collectible. It's always a little more valuable, and then being offered a potential commission to have the whole thing painted up in advance by what I will tell you guys. And if you follow his Instagram or if you've seen his work on Art of the Week, a very talented artist. That is definitely some extra value in the commission of it as well.
The game itself, I think, goes now on eBay for about $200 to $300.
Woohoo! Oh man, $200 to $300. You are really giving away something here, aren't you?
The problem is I have two, so that's what I'm giving.
That's awesome. Hellwork says, I miss playing Dreadfleet. Okay, so we got a classic player here who's familiar with it.
Some people like the game. Some people hate it. I personally liked it, but never have played it. I think 2 or 3 times. So
now, Freak and I have only been in the Warhammer universe for about 3 years. And like I said earlier, Oni just started in 8th edition. What can you tell us about the game?
It's fantasy ship based. So you get small fantasy ships, so like a Skaven ship, a dwarf ship, chaos dwarves, imperial ships. So it's fun. You have like a map, like a sea, and you get like islands and everything. You have to maneuver and stuff like that. And I think I haven't played it for like 8 years. I think you have also cards for orders. Each ship has different ways to attack, like that. It's fun.
It sounds pretty fun. Hellwork says it was better than Mana War, which means presumably it's got something in.
Same thing, just ships, fantasy.
Okay. And so I've seen actually Edic Beer play Mana War on his channel before, so it kind of gives me a little bit of frame of reference for that. I remember working at GW when it came out. I couldn't keep any copies of it. It sold so well. Nice.
Yeah, like Hellwork says, fee-based Battlefield Gothic. So.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Battlefield Gothic is excellent. I need to print some fleets for myself.
I see a lot of people with the invention of 3D printing coming back and getting into Battlefleet lately, kind of like with Epic.
Yeah, but buying the old models, I think it's almost $100 now per ship or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, I think that's why everybody's going the 3D printed route for Battlefleet Gothic, which I mean makes sense, honestly.
It's same as with Epic. Epic old models cost an arm and a leg if you want to get them.
Now, I know some people, are afraid of 3D printing. Some of the people say 3D printing's killing the hobby because, apparently when you print stuff, you take hobby dollars away from the people who make the games.
Yeah, that's complete bullshit. Sorry if anybody thinks like that, but if 3D printing was destroying the hobby, GW would be losing money.
They have had their best-selling years 3 years in a row. So
good. So they haven't even touched their profits. So one thing is that plastic and resin are different. So that's why some people you have to be more careful with resin models. Plastic is like if it drops, it will survive. Plus 3D models, most of the times you cannot sell it at all. So if you're going out to the hobby, you have to find some group and nobody will report you to GW. It has like a lot of stuff that it won't. It's like same with the recasters when they started saying, "Oh, recasters will destroy GW." I don't know. They still sell shitload stuff.
I appreciate you advocating for me finding love in my city, but I have already found the love of my life. Thank you.
Sexy time.
One thing I will add to that as well. I agree with definitely the things you said for sure, and what you mentioned about resin, having to be a lot more careful with resin for sure, because I'm a big fan of 3D prints myself because you can get some really cool and unique looking sculpts. I think most of my Imperial Guard army is either third party, like Dreamforge Miniatures, Atlantic War Games, or 3D printed. You know, my Chimeras are all custom, unique designs from Etsy that are 3D printed. My Sentinels are 3D prints, and I really like them because they're a nice midway house. They are bigger than the old school GW ones, but not quite as big as the new GW ones. They're a nice little halfway house. So yeah, I just find some really cool sculpts on Etsy all the time that I think makes good looking alternatives. But because I do things like that, I can definitely agree they are very, very fragile. Like I bought these Crusaders from Redmaker's Cult, and oh my gosh, I had so much frustration painting them because their swords were very thin resin, and they knew they were going to snap because they gave me 6 swords for 3 dudes. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're going to break some of these," and yeah, I definitely did, and it was a little frustrating, but I was able to save them. So it was a process in learning to deal with that medium.
Plus, also, since most of the bigger tournaments are not allowing 3D prints, it depends. So if you're competitive at most times, most bigger tournaments will not allow you to use 3D prints as like copyright shit.
Oh yeah, so there's definitely some gives and some takes, but I definitely am a big fan of 3D prints myself. Nothing wrong with 3D printing. Oh, the other point I was going to make is that Battlefleet Gothic is no longer in print. Games Workshop is currently not making any money on Battlefleet Gothic. So, there's lots of people who fall into that middle ground there where they're like, well, as long as it doesn't take money away from the original creators, printing things out of production, impossible to get conversion bits that they don't make, some people are okay with that. And I think that definitely falls into that middle area. It's been out of production for years now, and so your GW's not losing anybody by people doing that because it's a game they don't even cover anymore.
Kind of taking money depends. There's too many people in the hobby that actually can damage the hobby itself.
It's true.
It's the same thing when people are asking like why GW doesn't sell the files for the old models. And I talked to the manager and I said, why would we want to sell it? We're a miniature company, we want to do better.
Right, yeah.
We want to do better, and I think they put it some one thing. They want to do the best models. But if they do the files, then their product will be various. It doesn't matter. It won't be the best. It depends on the people who manages the printer. So you could advertise, if you print a bad print and paint it, you're advertising that GW doesn't do good models.
Yeah,
that's how the manager explained me when I was in Warhammer World.
Oh.
Man, it honestly makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Welcome back. Did you bring me a cup?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I got my book last Saturday, guys. Last Saturday? last Saturday, my actual birthday. Wait, I had told you guys I won't be able to get this until after Christmas because my friend who was getting 2 copies ended up only being able to get 1 copy. But I went down and hang out with him at the store the other day on my birthday. My wife had a headache on my birthday, and so she laid down for a nap a little while. I said, "Hey, I'm going to go out hang out at the game store while you take your nap, if that's okay." And I did, and I'd just gotten some extra birthday money earlier that day from my in-laws, which is amazing. And so I got there, and I'm hanging out with my friend, and as soon as I walk in, he's like, "Hey, Methos, yeah, I'm really sorry I couldn't hook you up with the." So I'm like, "Hey, man, you were going to do me a favor, nothing expected of you. I appreciate it." Anyways, one of the regulars at that shop is hanging out as well. And he's sitting there, and there's a painting crafting table in the middle of that store, and he's sitting there working on his Cadia Stands box, and he's talking about with some of the other guards, including myself, and guard players, about how he's got X amount of sentinels and some loadouts he's thinking about running, and he's going to do some shock troops, and he wants to do some regular infantry for the heavy weapons, and he wants more of the heavy weapons platforms. And anyways, we're chatting. And like he said it one time, and then he said it again later. It's like, it's like when somebody's really struggling with the decision. He goes, I just don't know. Part of me really wants to go get a 3rd box of that Cadia Stand set. They've got 1 left on the wall right there. I'm thinking about getting it. And so, anyways, my buddy pulls him aside. And he goes, "Hey, man. If you're really on the fence about getting this box, what if you could get it a little bit cheaper?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" "Well, I happen to know that my buddy over there would absolutely buy that Codex of cards off your hands right now, and you could just keep the models." And yeah, so 2 minutes later, they come over to me and they're like, "Hey, how much are you willing to spend for Codex of cards?" And I'm like, "This is what I have in my pocket right now." So my buddy sweet talked his way into hooking me up.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was one of those things where, like, my wife just happened to have a headache. I just happened to decide, "Honey, while you lay down, I'm going to run to the game store and hang out with my friend." And I just happened to be there while he happened to say, "I don't know, I'm really on the fence about getting a 3rd box." Because he was brand new to guard. So for him, he was like, 3 boxes, except for the tanks, is pretty much buying myself a whole army. Especially if he decides to go all infantry guard. So, yeah, I just all these stars aligned at just the right time.
Very nice.
Have
a good night, Steve.
Take care.
Have a good night, Greg. Do love this setup. Me too. It's actually pretty fun. Eventually, GW will sell the files. The managers know nothing. Trust me. His brother Steve was a manager at one of the stores once. I hope they don't nerf your codex gets. I hope they don't nerf you. Codex get nerfed or change beefier. Oh, before you even get a few games in. As for Votan and Space Wolves, as for me, both Votan and Space Wolves books were changed before I got to use them. Oh, I know. The changing the Warlord traits on the Space Wolves were big. Changing of course, the big nerfs that they did with the Votan before they came out. Even Psychic Awakening. I don't think I'll be buying any more campaign books ever again because I was so excited. I'm sure a lot of you guys here in the chat remember when the Psychic Awakening Space Wolf book came out. I was so excited to get my hands on that book opening day. It was COVID times, and so we weren't really able to get in any games. In fact, I wasn't even allowed in the store. Every person got to line up outside the store, go in, 3 customers at a time, not even go in. Like they had barricaded the front of the store with the tables. You go in, you pick out what you want, they go get it off the wall for you, you pay and leave, almost like a fast food restaurant. And I was so excited. I waited in line and got my Psychic Awakening book first day. Most of the stores were shut down, so no games were really going on. And 3 months later, they put out, 9th edition, and said, by the way, all your Psychic Awakening stuff, guys, Space Marines can't use them anymore. And I was like, but I have these cool stratagems I never got to use. I remember I was flipping through the book and the FAQ with Freak, trying to use the new, it was called, I don't know. It was the Space Wolves thing that on a 4+, your Warlord could get in extra hits. It was really cool. And I never even got to use it. Oh, you reminded me about that as well. Shaking my head. Have a great night, Steve, my man. But yeah, things do change. That is one of the other things where we brought up the beam weapons earlier. They did make some statements about Imperial Guard, and they said, you guys have a brand new codex now. Expect when the next balance twice a year balance patch comes out in January, you guys won't need the FAQs to play the guard anymore. Now, what that means is we're going to be losing some of the things that we got in the balance slate. So we'll be losing Armor of Contempt, which is confirmed because we have so many other defensive buffs now. It makes sense that they'd get rid of Armor of Contempt, because it seemed like Armor of Contempt was a placeholder because they knew those other defensive buffs were coming in. We're losing Hammer of the Emperor, which is super confirmed because now one of the doctrines you can take is Born Soldiers, which is exactly Hammer of the Emperor, just with a different name. The only thing that's in question is that if we'll lose our exemption to indirect fire, because that's not an Imperial Guard balance slate update, that was a balance slate update to indirect fire itself. So that one is up in the air whether or not we're going to lose it. I personally hope we don't. If we do, things like the heavy weapons teams and the infantry teams and those new field ordnance batteries are still going to be good, because you can give them an order. So yeah, they'll be -1 to hit, but you can give them an order to give them +1 to hit. So that'll cancel each other out. But the tanks that are indirect, like the Manticore, the Basilisk, the Wyvern, the Hydra, which no one's taken in forever, those things are going to be super unreliable if they lose their exemption, because they're going to be orc shooting. They're already ballistic skill 4. If they lose their exemption, that means when they're shooting indirect, they're only going to be hitting on 5s. There's no way to buff that like you can infantry. So I think if they lose that, that is going to make all 4 of those indirect fire tanks absolutely useless. Because, just like when you play orcs, you don't take orcs for reliable shooting. You take them for incidental shooting. Like, numbers, yeah. Maybe I'll get lucky. Yeah. Right. Just like when we had our game, my rockets on my helicopters got lucky. But you've seen how many games I've shot those things at you and done absolutely no damage all game, right? Oh, yeah. I take them to sit on objectives. But the one time that actually twice that game, they rolled hot. Yep. And just deleted something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But when you're making that list, you can't rely on shooting something at 5+. It's like, I hope it happens, but
Unless you're playing against me, then you're fine.
Like I said, even with you, there's been so many games we've had where it's just like, all right, I'm going to shoot this at 5+. Okay, moving on. So yeah, you can't make a list with that in mind. So I really hope they keep their indirect. I have options such as the field ordnance batteries and my heavy weapons teams if we do lose our exemption. However, for the sake of the fact that I like the model for the Manticore and I think Basilisks are interesting, and I like the way the Wyvern and Hydra look, even though I wouldn't use them personally. I just think for the sake of those models not becoming antiques, I hope they're still, decent in the after the patch comes out. Is this the meeting at the European Council?
That was the bus stop.
We would like to talk. We would like commentary from Freakland. Senator Freakalicioso, what is your thoughts on the matter?
Yeah.
Oh
The
man.
senator from Freakland yields back his time.
I object.
If I were on the council, I'd be like Reagan. Huh? What? Yeah. Could somebody please wake up Representative Kushernada, please? Oh man. All right, so that's the couple of meta watch things we wanted to talk about. The Votan this week. We wanted to talk about the Imperial Guard. Those are really the three big things. Now, a lot of people are freaking out about Imperial Guard losing Armor of Contempt. There are options. Now, arguably, Armored Tracks is a worse Armor of Contempt. I feel like I'm okay with it going because, like I said, there are options. You could give some tanks invulnerable saves with the tank ace trait, with warlord traits, with Votan are still powerful. Oh yeah, they're still very powerful after the nerf, but I think the point is if you just imagine how powerful they were before the nerf. The average list is a whole nother land fortress plus a couple of other models if you took them before the nerf. So I think, I think they were appropriately nerfed, and then we can see how well they do in the meta. And if it's still too strong, they can come back and tweak it. But yeah, I don't think they were nerfing them to make them not powerful. It's to not make it a tilted scale, where it's just like you put Votan and everybody else, and it's just, the scale's way tipped. I'm not taking any beam weapons, and it still scares me. Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you guys that beam las cannon, the las cannon that can hit multiple units, is really good, very strong, very competitive. Also, a lot of people talk about, well, you got to consider the range and the speed of the Votan. They are slow, but if you play them right, they can get where they need to go.
You don't need them to move fast.
Yeah,
their beam weapons just do the job for you.
Because a standard loadout, what Oni took was a standard infantry loadout that I've seen in a lot of the competitive lists, where you take one missile launcher and one of the rail guns. And even if the bolters weren't in range, those two in every unit, and I think he had, 5 units of infantry, Oni?
3
infantry?
Yep.
But the infantry in each squad, the special weapons could pretty much hit me anywhere. So they had the range to hit me. I don't think their range is as big a deal as people were making out. The bolters took an extra turn to get up into range to be able to hit me. And that did, keep some of the firepower off me for a while. They over-nerfed a couple of units like their heavy weapons team. Every battle report I've seen, those heavy weapons teams put in some work for the Votan. I don't know. They seem to be pretty big. Also,
all they really did was just put up the point cost. They didn't really nerf them.
That's true. They're expensive, but they put in the business. The Terminators were amazing. A lot of people were like, I don't know, they're as expensive as a Space Marine Terminator, but they don't have as many wounds or attacks as a Space Marine Terminator. Or those things are awesome. Turn one moved up, or the squad teleported forward. First of all, being able to teleport forward turn one is a huge thing, and he had some hot rolls. And with just the shoulder grenade launchers, managed to plink 11 wounds off of my tank commander. He was down to just low weapon. Well, I think it was the grenade launchers plus the Volkites that do the mortal wounds on 6s. Between the two of them, my tank commander was down to 1 wound. And of course, his bikes just finished him off with The auto can is it an auto cannon on the back of your heavy weapon bike?
No, I think it was the Sagittar that finished them off.
Oh, the Sagittar.
Yeah, because the bikes were going into the.
Oh yeah, the Sentinel I had on the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely. Whew, man. And they are so durable. Like Oni stacked some stratagems on them, like the transhuman stratagem on them, and then on the Sagittar he put one where I can't remember what that one did. I think I could only hit it on something. Anyways, or no, it was the -1 to hit.
Yeah, -1 to hit, and you couldn't do your rerolls.
And no rerolls to rerolls. That's right. Yeah, between that and the defensive buffs for the transhuman.
That's what it was.
Okay, hit rerolls.
Yeah.
By the end of turn 2, I'd only taken 4 models off the board, 4 Terminators. They were good. I was just imagining if somebody had like 2 squads of them, turn 1, blink 1 unit up into your opponent's grill. Turn 2, another command point, blink another one in. Boom, move forward with the bikes. Turn 1, you could really just. In my case, I was pinned in turn 1. Just because I was afraid to get into charge range of the Terminators, but yeah, they were really good. They were actually really impressive to see. It's funny because I got absolutely smashed, but like even seeing how much of a beating I took, there's something about the challenge because Oni's gonna be taking a break from 40K, but like freaking Atlas are both like kind of raring to go to get their chance to. Take a swing at the Votan. It was interesting. Sagittar's got a missile upgrade. Yeah, that was one thing that they got out of the Metal Watch thing. Hot rerolls on anything is nasty. That's true. Some people just have the blessed touch on the dice. But yes, a lot of people are saying if we lose armor of contempt on vehicles, that the straight up infantry guard are going to be, quote unquote, the only way to run guard if we lose armor of contempt. I'm not a super competitive guys, and I bought guard because I like tanks. So I'm still going to be playing tanks, whether or not we get to keep them or not. And I think there are options to make us more durable. Obviously, there are very few things as strong as armor of contempt, but I think they're durable enough to at least have fun with. Freak Olicioso. I put our list in the Grumpy chat.
Okay.
That I made.
Okay.
I made a list with my new codex. I just kind of wanted to share you guys because I haven't made a list the old school way in forever, and that was actually kind of fun. I'm going to admit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I know a lot of people are the old school. Like I only make lists old school way with pen and paper, and that's awesome. I'm going to fully admit I am spoiled, and I've gotten too used to Battlescribe. Battlescribe does all the work for you, and for me, most importantly, it does the math for you. And I actually had a really good time just going through the codex, filling out all the individual points for units, for weapon upgrades, for ability upgrades. Like, I want to put a tank a tank ace on this. G said, I am pretty keen on guard since playing Dawn of War, and I'd like lots of tanks. That's cool. That's awesome, G. I knew that you had some wolves, and I knew you had orcs. That's cool that that you're keen on guard too. That's awesome. Or even Marines with lots of toys and tanks and dreads. Absolutely. All right, so yeah, this is me. And when I say I made a list the old school way, like as in by writing everything down and totaling it up manually, I did because I'm a special snowflake. Do it on Excel because I could use the auto sum feature to do my math for me and stuff like that. And because I like it looking clean and neat. Dawn of War, I just really like them, the Marines and Guard. Nice. But yeah, so we're playing 1,500 points against Atlas's new Nurgle Demon list, because Demon is some of the new hotness now. And he's always like Nurgle. He's not playing because it's the new hotness. But, a new codex is a new opportunity to play something you've been wanting to play. And so I'm taking Ursula Creed. No, I'm not paying for the Warlord trait. I'm taking a tank commander with a Demolisher cannon, with plasma sponsons, heavy bolter on the front, armored tracks. I'm taking a take ace for veteran commandeer and antique weapons. So that's going to give me one of the regiment traits, and antique weapons is going to give me an extra 6 inches on all my weapons. So things like the Demolisher tank, which is usually only 24 inches, I'll be able to shoot that at a flat 30-inch range now, which is going to be nice. So it's a big 210-point tank there, because I'm doing a bunch of upgrades for plasma, for tank ace. And it's expensive, but I like the toys. Speaking of toys here, I'm taking 5 infantry squads. I'm taking a battalion and a patrol. 3 of the infantry squads I'm paying for plasma and plasma pistol sword on all the sergeants. Taking a melta-gun and las cannon heavy weapon team in each of those. And then down here for these 2 infantry squads, I'm taking a melta-gun and autocannon in each of those. So lots of melta, lots of las cannons. It's got some autocannons. And then 2 scout sentinels. So I'm going to start them up the board so I can start getting engaged on all fronts. And I'm taking you guys know I'm the 195th Cadian Fireflies. So we're taking 9 mortar pits. So that's going to be their strength 5 with Ursula Creed. They're going to be strength 6. So we're talking firing all 3 units 9d6 shots at strength 6 -1 AP. AP is not going to matter because I'm playing against demons, but still, it's going to be pretty cool. My patrol, I'm taking the command squad, which I was showing you guys that I was painting up models for earlier, with the commander with the plasma fist and or power fist and plasma pistol. That's the one I showed you guys earlier. I'm taking the relic banner, master of vox, autocannons, autocannon team, and a master of ordnance. I'm taking tank commander with gatekeeper, the Cadian cannon, and meticulous calibrator, so I can ignore cover. Which again,
so you're doing some gatekeeping?
Yep, that's me. I'm a gatekeeper. I'm taking a Lehman, one of my 2 Lehman Russ demolishers, and 1 Manticore. I did notice that compared to the list I brought against Oni with the 8th edition codex, this is a 200-point less game. It's a 1,500 instead of 1,752, so a 250-point difference. But I'm missing out a whole Demolisher, Lehman Russ Demolisher, and 2 Chimeras. So that's something I noticed that, I feel like the cost has gone up in this codex. Like, I'm paying a little bit more for things. And it seems to be... It seems to be a thing for guard in general, because I noticed a couple of people who were doing all infantry guard, they used to average around 300 guardsmen, and now they're taking around a little under 200 guardsmen. So, a little under 200 guardsmen, and so they're losing an extra 100 guard out of a full foot infantry guardsman. So things are a little more expensive, but I would argue that things are a lot more effective in the new codex. I like it. So that's one of the things I've been up to this week. I've got my list ready to go for this coming Thursday.
Nice.
Freak mentioned that he enjoyed having it all in front of him where he could see it. And he's been thinking about putting together a list the old school way too.
Yeah.
Like I said,
lists. We're talking about something else.
Freak does like it when it's just all out in front of him.
Yeah.
Running Bear. Sorry, can't type in phone well. Oh man, even when I can type, I just sometimes swipe or autocorrect pops in, and I just can't type in general.
I can't.
Sometimes,
yeah.
If you guys see a message from me and you'll see so and so has deleted their message, Sometimes the question I get is like, "What? Did you say something bad and try taking it back?" I'm like, "No, I just can't type today." And you wouldn't have been able to read how I worded it the first time.
I don't type. When my friend messages me, I just pick up the phone, call him, and say, "What the fuck?"
It's like I'm not
Yeah.
typing all that back.
I can't brain today. I has the dumb. So.
Freak does that
No,
to
I
me all
don't.
the time.
I don't like to. I'd rather speak with somebody 1 hour than type 10 minutes with him.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
makes sense, man.
That's how Freak and I are usually, anyways. We'll start a conversation over text, and then we'll just call.
Call.
Our wives tell us multiple times that they talk to each other more than they talk to us.
Yeah, normally when I talk to my friend with Ireland, I paint models and just put the phone on the side, and we talk for an hour and a
Yeah,
half. So.
that's what's up, man.
Absolutely. That's how I mean, painting while chatting like that's how me freaking only get a bit of stuff done. Yeah.
Definitely. Go for the light.
Well, Frico Licioso, we got a plenty of Grumpy's amazing work there in the chat. If you want to spend some time looking at some of this, we are going to go ahead and start wrapping up at 1:45 tonight, guys. We do have to close off right at 11 sharp.
Also, I finished the.
Look at you, man.
Nice.
I think only dry brushing I need. I can take a picture and send it to the group if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Toss it up there.
Oh yeah, I said I was when we started doing art of the week and stuff like that. The commander and stuff, I picked it up and send.
Okay, let's see. October, November. Which one did you send it to? Art of the week, Methos?
No, I sent it to the chat with us and Grumpy and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll send you the Titans if you want.
So I see the stuff that came in November 2nd.
Yeah. We haven't had Grumpy on in a while, so it's
that's
not stuff I put up today.
Oh, okay. Let me think here, because there's some stuff here that I saw back in. Okay, I remember that. October 11th. See that stuff already? I think so. Yeah. Yeah,
we looked at the terrain.
Okay,
so starting at the Tyranids.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
I'll forward some of the pictures now.
Oh yeah, he's sending some stuff now too.
Thank you, Lupus. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, Kenneth.
Take care, Lupus.
Yeah. The gorgeously painted Tyranid army, man. Jeez, oh Pete.
It really is.
Bloody hell.
That's only contrast. So.
Oh, he's doing it again, Methos. He's doing it. He's doing that crap again. Right? Yeah. Some freaking amazing. I mean, gorgeous artwork. It's only contrast. Yeah, I rolled out of bed and I took a dump with contrast in it, and look, it's
Honestly, let me tell you, it's cream color. Base coat was brown, cream color on top, then zenithal white, contrast red.
Damn, dude, your stuff looks amazing, bro.
And oil wash over it and just clean it. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that doing the oil wash definitely makes it not look like dry brush.
Right. You know, it's gorgeous, dude. It's freaking amazing. Let's see.
So vibrant.
Oh my gosh. And you say this is contrast paint?
Yeah, contrast paint, dry brush.
And all
dry brush.
That vibrant red and the cream color are just so striking together.
Yes, it does look really, really good because it looks like real bone. man.
I think I painted this
we were talking about Methos and I were
3
like,
days.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure 3 days to do the entire army.
Yeah, it took me longer to do the stuff.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's
Wow.
what we were thinking. I just rolled out of bed and painted this entire army in 3 days with Crayola markers and.
Yeah, we were talking about having you on the show, and we were like, all right, so we're going to talk about the Voton balance. We'll talk about the guard balance a little bit, and then we both started joking about how there's going to be tons of amazing artwork from you, and you'll tell us as we're just marveling over your work. You'll be like, this I just painted it with Crayola, the
Watercolors
24
and-
box, and
Just to make you even more complex. So this model was painted with this brush.
Hold on, let me see the brush he's talking about. It's probably a house brush, huh? Hold on. Let me switch it back to. All right, let me see. What brush?
holy crap.
What?
It's a needlehead, man.
Good grief, man. Yeah, you painted it with a roller. It's just... I painted all this with a paint roller and water paint and watercolors.
Lucas said he's not going. He was just saying thanks.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Hey, thanks
Yeah,
for hanging
Lucas-
around some more, man. Yeah.
Lupus is always such amazing support.
Lucas, you're amazing, bro. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank
Hey,
you for
yeah,
thank you for
the
putting
way
up with
you
our
put it-
crap, bro.
The way you put it, I thought he was leaving.
I know. I thought so too. It's like, all right, guys, thanks. Y'all been wonderful. All right, hey, thanks for coming by. No, I'm just saying thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, my
Like
God.
the Keanu Reeves. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
I sent you pictures of the Titans I finished
Oh,
recently.
sweet. Okay, cool.
No, but guys, really, oil washes take up burnt umber really does improve the colors.
I agree. I love the burnt umber. I've been using it with my guard lately, and I love the generic black oil wash too. Really ties some colors together really well.
These are old metal ones.
Oh.
Actually, a lot of models on the Tyranids are old school.
That board added a lot to it. Awesome. G says, I painted it with the stick from the garden.
Yes. Yes.
I was out doing the lawn,
Yeah.
found a stick in the garden. I wanted to paint with it.
That sounds about right. Yeah, just find some random stick sticking out of the ground. I can use that to paint. What?
No, before I used thinner, smaller brushes, but over time I just take bigger and bigger, so it's
Yeah, like a
It's
paint roller. Oh my goodness, dude, you got some talent, brother.
this is easy.
Talent or
If you
deal
can
with the
do.
Crossroads Devil. One of the two.
I think it's probably both.
I'm having one of those days trying to snap a picture of this commander. And my hand just won't stop shaking. I'm like, I'm going to snap a picture. Shaking like Elmer Fudd's Adam's apple.
Oh damn! Where was his Adam's apple? All right.
These are the old Hive Guard.
I love the consistency, man. You just got it.
It's
This is so
probably his the fact that he and Elston do like crazy amounts of batch painting gives them like
Yeah.
that amazing consistency,
Yes.
where it all fits together.
Airbrush is your friend. Or if it clogs, then it's your enemy.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. I can tell you there's been many, many times where, everything's been going well and then the airbrush clogs and just sputters onto your clean work. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I used to call Freak up cursing a storm about that. Like, oh my God, it looks so clean. And then,
Right.
Yeah, but when it does that to me, I just do battle damage.
Yeah.
That's why everything is damaged on my Marines and everything.
you are a smart man, sir. Good morning, Big Mac Dansko.
Morning.
Those little spore things remind me of like little floating brains.
Yeah. The entire
I-
army reminds me of the Zerg.
What's that one called? An exocrine or something? I always just think of it as the one with the phallic cannon.
I think it is exocrine. This army has been on my attic, I think, about 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And a client that has like 20,000 orcs that I painted for him asked me, hey, do you have Tyranids maybe? Yeah, I have. Would you paint it? Yeah, take it.
Bet you're turning a nice little profit on that.
Painting and the models were $1,000.
Wow. I wasn't actually expecting a number, but that's hella impressive. That's
Yeah.
how you get the drive to
Man.
paint so well so fast. That's awesome.
The
What-
Titans that I showed you, sent you, that was just the painting was 900 euros. So
Take a look
1,000.
here. Ah, sweet. Okay, hold on. Let me pull those up real quick.
Holy crap.
All right, here we go.
That's amazing, Grumpy.
Let me- They're so cute. Can't wait till they grow up.
Just so you know, this was my tabletop quality.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
little.
a full size $1,000 for tabletop quality. So an army, if you're still willing to talk numbers, and just out of curiosity, sheerly curiosity, what would you charge for a similar size army for your upscale?
He's asking for a friend for science.
This
Uh,
is definitely not for science, because that's not the kind of money I have to.
It depends on the army itself.
I know it may not look like it, but my dancing career won't pay for that many models.
Damn it, you shouldn't have said that.
It depends on the. To be honest, when it's a larger army and a higher level, I drop the price sometimes,
That makes sense. Kind of
Uh,
like
like a discount.
yeah.
Or if let's say Adam that I play with wanted me to paint his word bearers at level 3, so maximum level, and I told him no, because I think it was about $4,000 or $5,000 if he wanted that level to paint.
Ooh. Worth every penny, Bubba.
Keegan says,
No, I told him it wasn't worth it. Level 3, like showcase, only I can, to
Right,
be honest, see the details. So.
right.
Keegan
If
says,
if it
Spend
was
first, ask the wife for forgiveness second.
this,
I don't know if you heard that chat through my microphone, but my wife in the other room goes, huh.
Yep. The end of the world as we know it.
I didn't realize you were listening, honey. I love you.
these
No,
ones,
I'm playing, babe.
if
I'm
you
playing.
want to
Ladies
know-
and gentlemen, Methos will be fine after he wipes the blood off his forehead.
Methos, if you want, I can tell you the pricing of this army.
What was this one?
This is for Netherlands, a new client of mine,
Nice.
the newest one. So assembly, when it's larger, I don't charge assembly and bases. So each Warhound is an $80 one, and the Reavers are 100.
Damn,
That's a nice chunk of change there.
they're so cool.
Joe, good
Look
to
at it.
see you.
That's a lot
Joe
of
says
detail.
that's awesome.
And Grumpy, would you use crayons for this to make it look like this? Help me here.
A little bit of crayons. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Oh gosh, man.
Grumpy, this is phenomenal work. This, I didn't actually have any paint. I crushed up some flowers from the garden.
Yes. Yes.
What?
I script off.
Grumpy, we only
script off
joke
the.
because we love you and we respect the hell out of your work.
Yeah, it's like I scraped off the paint from the walls of my house, and I just, use that for my paint. It's like, God dang it! Freaking- Oh my gosh, dude! It's just so cool, man. That you can do this with, I guess, the least amount of effort, paints, oxygen. I don't know.
To be honest, doing these kinds of armies close to suicide. You understand that all of these streams I have to do by hand.
Oh man,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you have to do the lines and everything, right? The all
Plus,
the stripes and
all-
everything.
Well, that's masking and airbrush.
Okay. Man,
Uh,
really?
all the chipping, so all the scratches are have highlights underneath.
Okay, yeah, you have to do each
Uh,
one.
plus, all of them have extra weapons. So there was like additional 30 pieces with these titans. Plus, if you check out the base,
Oh my
on
God! Yeah, there's Marines down there.
Itty bitty baby Marines.
They're tiny.
Joe
Uh,
says these models are gorgeous.
but to be honest, once I painted it, it looked like crap until I put oil wash on it.
Oh, wow.
Man, you have to have some really, really, really fine, tiny control. Anytime I try and highlight chipping like this, I know people talk about it like it's a pretty basic skill. Anytime I try to highlight chipping, it looks painted on. It doesn't look like chipping like for you here. I can't get it thin enough.
Also, if you need to find a picture where the Marines are closer. There's a picture of bases
Okay.
that are
Let me see.
closer up. I think you
I
skipped
think I
up.
see it right here. Yep, I got it.
I actually done as much as I could the markings of Omega markings for Ultramarines, freehand on the shoulders, and the book for word bearers.
I was
Damn,
gonna
dude.
comment on that. Freak, there are different color of Marines on these bases other than yellow.
Yeah.
There's
I
some red
noticed that.
ones, some
Yeah.
blue ones.
I noticed.
G says one of the ways that Grumpy saves on paint is he paints it with the tears of the other painters.
Yes, it does.
That's incredible. Also, the way you did that striped plume. Oh man, that is some tiny detail. How do you do stuff like that on 8mm? I don't understand.
That's 6mm.
6mm.
Oh my God.
All right. I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm just going to ask you point blank. And I'd really like you to just be straight with me, Grumpy. Are you Ant-Man?
No. I think I'm not. No, I have a brush for that. That has a fine tip, so. And trial and error, about 50 times paint the same thing.
Yeah, I really like this well done heat bloom. It's really well done. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's much more grim and realistic. Like this is probably the correct way for a heat bloom to be done. Yeah. Other ways would probably be like considered incorrect, but this one would definitely be considered the correct way.
Oh, God.
Look, if it's okay with you, it's the correct way.
Oh. That's gorgeous, man. Damn, that looks so freaking good.
Yeah, it does look amazing. And I gotta say, when when we were chatting, the last time that you and I hung out and painted after the show, and you were mentioning how you were going to print little Marines to put on your Titanicus bases, I was thinking to and I don't mean any offense by this. It was just my first thought was, like, that is some really tiny details to put on your base. And I happened to think to myself, how much of a difference is that going to make on a base where you're looking at the Titan? It really adds a lot. Seeing a little battle scene going on. It's a little like industrial kind of sector going on.
I put like there's these two word bearers killed the Marine and are attacking the sergeant.
Yeah, the
That's
base
so
tells
damn
a whole
cool.
ass story. And what I think is really interesting is typically when we talk about doing a base or a paint job that tells a story, this to me takes that a step further because the base tells a completely separate story
Right.
that's almost irrelevant to what's going on with the Titan.
Right, but the whole thing is
Like-
married really well.
Yeah, the Titan probably doesn't even notice this fight going on at between its toes.
No,
Right?
but if you read the books.
Oh yeah, it's very
Very
relevant to the
Titan.
story for sure.
When you read the books, the Titans don't even care what's going on with
Oh
the
yeah.
troops. The battle is raging down. They're fighting other Titans. So the troops that are getting killed are just collateral damage.
Agreed, and I think it really adds like the fact that it has nothing going on, nothing to do with the Titan itself. Like adds depth, like when you watch a movie and there's like interconnected, separate storylines going on at the same time. Or to make an even more shallow analogy, it's like when you watch a jeans commercial that has nothing to do with the jeans.
Yeah.
It's just like people dancing, having fun out in the sun. And you're like, what was that commercial even about? Oh, it was a jeans commercial.
I think he mentioned that he'll, 10 more Titans that he'll order. And that's like his first order. He says this was like a test for him. Am I good for him or whatever?
Can I ask you another question? So, what's it like being friends with Jeff Bezos?
If I was with Jeff Bezos, trust me,
He's like,
we wouldn't be talking. I would be at your place.
I thought you were like, if I was friends with Jeff Bezos, why would I be talking to you, Mooks?
Right? Later, nerds. Damn. Okay. I mean, that's what I've always expected. But damn. I mean,
Joe says, "Damn, man, somebody goes on to play with these, right? These are freaking works of art. The fact that they're going to actually hit the tabletop, it's
I
pretty
just can't
amazing."
believe you actually put like the damn Omega sign, or that's nuts, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
like you hand drew all that. That's insane.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it clean. He didn't pay for it, to be honest. But I couldn't just leave it like this. So
Yes.
I normally, when I do for people, if I see I can improve a little bit, that doesn't take too much time, I will go that extra step.
That's awesome.
Methos?
Oh man, why would I post after Grumpy? Like, I don't understand what I've done here.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's
Anyways,
good.
this is the unit commander I was talking about that I converted up for my guard earlier, with the plasma pistol and
Perfect.
power fist.
Very nice.
No,
I'd be-
he looks cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because he's an outlaw, but I decided with a little bit of a good paint job and converting a few bits, putting a couple of Aquila on him, he'd be a good
No, he's okay.
commander.
Oh, I love the heat bloom on that last.
Oh, well, thank you. Keegan says your work's so nice you'd be scared to play with them on the table. Joe says 40 little glass boxes on a shelf for my son to inherit. Heck yeah.
Actually, when I prime, I varnish the models with car varnish, not model varnish.
Oh, wow. Damn.
That makes sense. Especially on some of my more fragile stuff or stuff that I feel like is prone to chipping. I do kind of the same thing. I'll put the gloss varnish on it and then I'll come back and mat it down because I want the hard varnish to kind of give it that protective coat. So I feel you on that.
The car varnish is more resilient than the standard varnishes for models.
Oh, you said car varnish. I thought you said hard
Car.
varnish.
Car.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I bet. Some industrial grade stuff there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Again, some amazing work tonight. Brother Running Bear submitted something
Put it through.
that he'd like to show off for the show. He's been working on his votes on. And then we'll start winding down for the night.
That bow tone goodness. Y'all. There's
Send
some
that
bow tone
to-
badass right there, y'all.
And whenever people want to share things with the show, we always really appreciate it, guys. And even when we have on legendary painters here like Grumpy or Elston or any of the epic painters that we ever have join us, we love celebrating everyone's
Oh, yeah.
hobby journey, no matter where they are. So
We love
You know,
it.
never- we've
Oh,
had some
also-
people express to us before that, oh, and even I just kind of made the joke like, oh, I posted after Grumpy. But like, yeah, we celebrate all levels of the hobby. So you guys never have to feel inhibited, like, oh, should I send this in? They have such, talented people on the show. Not us, like, well,
Ooh,
freak.
These look nice.
Yeah, so this is Running Bears, League of Voton.
Yeah.
So that's his Grimnir and his entourage, followed by a call and the champion.
Very nice.
Those champions can put in some work.
Yes, sir.
I saw one battle report where one round of combat, that thing soloed a knight without breaking a sweat.
Damn. Like a bunch of Tor Garrodons all over the place.
Heck yeah.
And also, if anybody wants from the chat or even you guys, if you want some advice for painting, you can always contact me directly over Facebook or whatever, Messenger or whatever. So if you need any advice, tips, just ask.
I think
I will ignore you.
Running Bear, Keegan would like to know how you did your crystals if you get the chance. I have to say, so like I feel like we're pretty good friends with Grumpy now, but even when I was just a commenter on his channel, when I had questions about how to do hazard stripes or any other painting questions, if I left it in a comment on one of his videos, he immediately messaged me on Facebook to get in touch with me directly and walked me through what I wanted to know about painting. And that's kind of how we got started talking. Grumpy is super easy to work with and willing to help you improve your painting.
I mean, I will charge you $10,000 for it, but
God.
no, it's just you. Anybody who wants to, any tips, just message me. We can have a chat. Doesn't matter. So.
Yeah, he's
I'll
been
paint
awesome.
something if possible. Maybe I was thinking of doing live streams, but I need to get a better camera and everything, so I can do more. I need to do more tutorials and everything to help you guys.
Let's see, what requests have I done? I've requested you showed how to do graffiti on the walls of your terrain that I asked for before. Hazard stripes. You taught me how to do the triangles for the white scars. Yeah. The
Face.
checker pattern for orcs.
Faces I haven't done.
Yeah, but that's quite a few of the things that you've helped me with so far. It's a
Yeah, I need to
pretty.
do- Well, by this weekend I was planning to maybe do the red cloak tutorial. It's like a 5-minute tutorial, simple, how to do it to look good.
That's awesome. So
But probably when I get from work at 3 o'clock, after 8 hours, I'll probably fall asleep. So
yeah, I was about to say, hopefully by then you're getting some rest. So yeah, like I said, I know everybody in this chat's probably already subbed to Grumpy, but off of just that alone, not only does he put out quality content, but I mean, he is so humble and ready to help you guys improve your painting. Definitely suggest that alone to me is worth more than the subscription. You know, the free subscription, I might add. It is worth your $0, but he does have also a Patreon if you would like to support his work, you know, thank him for the things he puts out or helps you with in any way.
the plan for my Patreon, if I ever get enough people, is to do monthly giveaways on it. So to use, let's say, 20-30% of the funds to get back to the community.
That's
awesome.
Man.
Just
But
out of
probably will take me about 15 to 20 years to get to that point, but
just out of curiosity, asking for a friend, what tier of Patreon subscription do we have to get for the bikini calendar?
oh, you need to go to OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
OnlyFans. Right back on.
Guys, I'm just if you'll talk amongst yourselves, I'm doing
Do
something
research
unrelated.
for science.
Onlyfans.com/grumpy guy.
I'm lazy Methos. Send me pictures.
Oh man. All right, brother Roxas.
Yo.
What up, baby? Freak man, we info dumped tonight. We talked about the Voton. We talked about some guard stuff. We looked at a boatload of gorgeous models from Grumpy and Running Bear.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts tonight, my man?
Good show, man. Had a good show. Good company, as always. Grumpy is a legend. So thanks for coming by, man. I don't know why, you grace us with your presence, but thank you anyway. And,
I'll try to come more often.
Awesome. I always have a great time.
Always welcome, man. Always welcome.
Also, just to say again, guys, comment on the video. That is for the giveaway. You need to leave a comment, not only subscribe. And if you share, you get 5 entries automatically. So
Nice.
There is the video again. You can go click. It's the end of our show, guys. We're doing our outros. There's the video right there in the chat. So you go to Grumpy Guys Game and I mean, it take you 2 seconds. Go to the video, hit that like, subscribe, and leave him a comment.
Yeah.
And you'll get your entry into his giveaway.
Well, I forgot to ask you, what about the outtakes from the video?
I love the outtakes.
Okay.
I need to go back and comment myself. But man, I love
You
the
didn't
outtakes.
comment?
I didn't comment yet.
Oh, fuck.
It's like I'm done with you.
Yeah, right.
I'm done with
Screw
you.
you guys, I'm going home. Oh, wait, I am home. Turn this off.
Brother Roxas, been watching a ton of BattleTech videos, making me want to play. Awesome. That's going to be good. I haven't played BattleTech since not that long ago, but I haven't played BattleTech since I was 18. So I'm looking forward to that. Brother Oni, any thoughts for you at the end of the night?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Brother Grumpy, any closing thoughts for you?
Don't watch my channel.
Oh, my God.
Did I ever tell you guys that when Grumpy sent me these amazing models he sent me? I know I told you guys, but I don't know if I told the chat because we got some new members. When he sent me these models, I said, man, I don't know how I could ever thank you. Can I at least, pay for shipping or whatever? He says, you don't owe me anything. In fact, if you want to do something for me, tell people not to watch my channel and, that I'm a jackass. And so I started the video with Grumpy Guy Gaming is a jackass. Don't watch his channel. And then it cuts to the intro. And so many people came into the video going,
Like,
oh, man, this is clickbait. I thought you had...
Yep. Yep. Yeah, for
like,
a
you
long
guys are-
time, man. I'm like, Grumpy Guy is not a jackass. You need to stop that crap, You're like, dude, why are you such an a-hole, Methos? Jeez, just driving people away. That's what we do.
Oh, man. Joe says, good catching y'all. Good show. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank y'all, and thanks, Grumpy.
Hell yeah.
No problem.
Joe's good people.
Thank you for having me. Or
Oh.
putting up with me. I know this face is not enjoyable to watch.
I actually subscribed for the face and that accent. Just
He really
top
does.
tier. Top
Yep.
To be
tier.
honest,
there's-
you have some serious problems.
So,
You're
some
not
people-
wrong.
Some people have an accent so sexy that you could just listen to them talk about anything. You can listen to them read the news or. Guys, it's been amazing hanging out with Grumpy as always. I love when you guys are able to watch us just genuinely have a good time, and it's always a good time when Grumpy joins us. If you guys like tonight's video, please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below, especially if you're watching from the archives. Feel free to be part of any of these ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to Grumpy Guy Gaming, as listed here in the chat and down in our link tree below, and if you're not subscribed to these guys, then I know at the very least myself, Fricalicio,
Hi.
and Brother Oni would love to have you guys as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. So subscribe. Until next time, guys, stay frosty. Take it on. I'm always grumpy.
Hey, I need to go to work. Thank you. Are we still running? I don't know.